Gurbani says, Guru Nanak says, आप विचार न रोवे कोई, सतगुरु मिले तो सोजी होई। बिन गुरु बज्जर कपाट न खुले, नाम मिले निस्तारा है। आप विचार न रोवे कोई। अपने आप को जो जानने की कोशिश करता रहता है, वो इस संसार से, संसार मीन्स अप्स एंड डाउन्स, नॉट कि वो फैमिली छोड़ देता है, नॉट कि अपना प्रोफेशन छोड़ देता है, अप्स एंड डाउन से वो डीलिंक हो जाता है, जो अपने आप को जानने की कोशिश करता रहता है। आप विचार न रोवे कोई। फिर उसका रोना धोना खत्म हो जाता है कि मेरे को ये क्यों हो गया, मेरे को वो क्यों हो गया, इसने मुझे ऐसा क्यों कर दिया, वो आदमी ऐसा क्यों है, मेरी वाइफ ऐसी क्यों है, मेरा हस्बैंड ऐसा क्यों। ये सब उसके अंदर प्रश्न खत्म हो जाते हैं। हरे कृष्णा। आप विचार न रोवे कोई, सतगुरु मिले ता सोजी होई। ये आप विचार कैसे संभव है? हाउ वुड यू even think of knowing yourself? Because you already think you know yourself. How would you think of knowing yourself? You already know yourself. सतगुरु मिले ता सोची हुई। कोई अवेकन्ड वन मिल जाएगा तो आपको भी लगेगा कि मुझे भी अपने आप को जानना है। Now, awakened one का meaning, that means you'll have to realize that I am sleeping one. And then alone you will call him an awakened one. Why, Guru? This is Guru Nanak Sahib saying. And then the contemporary saint Ramana Maharishi, a very popular name, Ramana Maharishi. He condensed all his life's teachings, and that book is called, the title of the book tells you, Aap Vichar Na Rove Koi. The title of the book is this. What? Who am I? The title of the book is Who Am I? Who am I means अपने आप को जानो. Who am I? आप विचार न रोवे कोई, सतगुरु मिले ता सोजी होई. I mean, had Edmund Hillary or Tenzing not scaled Mount Everest, we would not have even thought that it's possible or it's required. They scaled Everest, so we started thinking about scaling Everest. So many people after that has scaled Everest. So there has to be somebody who has attained this goal, which is called Kaivalyam, oneness, yoga. There has to be someone who has attained this yoga. He will talk this yoga in various ways, but he is Yoga Murti. Guru Gobind Singh will manifest yoga in different ways. Guru Nanak will manifest yoga in different ways. Buddha will manifest it in different ways. Sri Krishna will manifest in different ways. Sri Ram will manifest in different ways. Vivekananda, the disciple, the apostle, chief apostle of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, will manifest it differently from his teacher. Sri Ramakrishna manifests it differently, he lives differently, and Vivekananda is completely a different sort of a person. But they are all Yoga Murti. They have all scaled the Mount Everest. They have reached that pinnacle of life. The goal of life is yoga. That's why it says Ath Yoga Anushasana. They have attained to that oneness. Anybody who attains to that oneness becomes otherworldly. We call him otherworldly because there is something unmistakable about him. Guru Nanak manifests in different ways in his personality, but he puts it in different ways in his words. Akha jiva visre mar jawa. Akhna aukha sacha naam. Same thing has been said in different ways, but very differently. आप विचार न रोवे कोई, सतगुरु मिले तो सोची होई. गुरु बिन बज्जर कपाट न खुले. एक बज्जर कपाट है. एक बज्जर मीन्स there's a there's a wall made up of stone. वज्र. कपाट. द्वार. द्वार ही नहीं है, वो दीवार है. द्वार नहीं, दीवार है. बज्जर कपाट न खुले कोई. बज्जर कपाट नहीं खुल सकता. कैसे खुलता है वो? गुरु ही खोल सकता है उसको. उस कपाट को हाउम में बोलते. हाउम में मीन्स व्हाट? कि मैं अपने आप को जानता हूं. ये हाउम में है. नहीं जानते हम अपने आप को. जो अपने आप को जान लेता है वो तो योग मूर्ति हो जाता है. वो कुछ और ही हो जाता है जो अपने आप को जान लेता है. And then Guru Nanak would say, Akha jiva visre mar jawa. So that's a sadhana, that's a procedure. Akha jiva visre mar jawa. All the time, what is he doing? Guru Nanak, नाम जहाज है, मैं नाम के ऊपर बैठा हुआ हूं, इसलिए I look different. पर नाम क्या होता है, इस शब्दों में नहीं जाहिर किया जा सकता. वाहिगुरु. आखा जीवा विसरे मर जावा. आखण औखा साचा नाम. बट होगा कैसे? साचे नाम की लागे भूख. जब आपको भूख लग जाएगी कि मुझे भी ऐसा ही होना है. कैसा होना है? किसी को बैठे हुए देखोगे ना एवरेस्ट पे, तभी तो लगेगा मुझे भी ऐसा होना है. किसी राइट ब्रदर्स ने मान लिया होगा ना कि शायद श्री राम के टाइम पे कोई हवाई जहाज होता था. There used to be an aeroplane. तो मान लिया उन्होंने, मरने की गत कही ना जाए. एंड ही डेवलप्ड एन एरोप्लेन. सो मेरे जैसे को ये भूख लग गई गुरु को देखते ही कि ये संभव है. I did not, for whatever reasons, I did not become a fanatic who says that only my guru is the ultimate. No, guru is what? Guru is communion. Guru is union. Guru is oneness. That oneness can be attained in the company, not physical company, in your heart. Just if you keep all the time Satya Sai Baba in your heart, or Guru Nanak in your heart, or Sri Krishna in your heart, that becomes a proof enough that you want that oneness, of which Guru Nanak is a proof. Guru Nanak is a proof that it is possible. Jesus is a proof that it's possible. Jesus had 12 apostles. Each one had attained to that oneness, but each one describes even his own guru differently. Mark would write his life story. Matthew would elaborate it further. Luke would give the bhakti aspect of Jesus. And John would talk about him as in the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. So John talked about Jesus as Nirankar. John is not talking about Jesus only as the body. So each one looks at Jesus differently. Paul had never met Jesus, but Paul had vision of Jesus. And half the New Testament is filled with letters of Paul, which are called epistles. So do not limit yourselves to particularly to your religion. Do collateral reading. Collateral reading. You know, Ramana Maharishi would condense all spirituality as who am I? Whereas another contemporary saint, Nisargadatta Maharaj, he used to sell tobacco as his, livelihood. And we would look down upon him. Oh, that's only his profession. In profession can be of anything. Kabirji used to be a cobbler, a video weaver. So that doesn't make a difference. Nisargadatta Maharaj would condense all his knowledge, all his spirituality, all his teachings as the book's title is Aham Brahmasmi. No, in English it's called I Am That. That's a very popular book. I Am That. So this goal of oneness of yoga is attainable by effort and by association with somebody who has attained it. That association is called Guru Prasad. Because without a proof, a living proof, you will not develop that ਭੁੱਖ. साचे नाम की लागे भूख. उत भूखे खाए चलिए दुख. उसको खा लेने से, उस भूख को खा लेने से, मतलब वो भूख लग जाने से आपके सारे दुख खत्म हो जाते. Once you get fascinated with such a one means what? Get fascinated with this concept which this such a one is a proof of, a living proof of. A contemporary living proof will tell you that why can't you be a Buddha? You're also a human being. Buddha was also a human being. Why can't you be? And anyone who takes this, that I can be, reaches it. Greatest obstacle is that I cannot be. So if you have already resolved that you cannot be Satya Sai Baba, well, then you cannot be. There is no difference between you and the one whom you worship. There is no difference. If you truly worship someone, then you and he has to be one. Logically, if you worship mathematics, then you have to be a mathematician. If you worship engineering, you have to become an engineer. You cannot whole life keep saying that I will not be an engineer, but I will study engineering. So, if you worship somebody, then there should be by and by, rafta rafta, wo meri hasti ka sama ho gaye. Dheere dheere, you and he will become one. And if it doesn't happen, then your association with him has been wasted. Hare Ram, Vaheguru. And who is he? He is oneness. Aap Vichaar. He just inspires you to know yourself. Aap Vichaar. The first day when I went to my Guru, he said, "You've not come to know me. You have come here to know yourself. And how would you know yourself? By being fascinated with me. You be fascinated with me and you will by and by know yourself. So I am not denying that don't be fascinated with me. Continue to be fascinated with me, but by and by you will start getting glimpses of yourself and you will be yourself. And then आप विचार न रोवे कोई, सतगुरु मिले तब सोची होई, गुरु बिन बज्जर कपाट न खुले, नाम मिले निस्तारा है, फिर तुम और नाम एक हो जाएंगे. नाम क्या होता है? वर्ड. Who is Jesus? Word embodied. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. हम सब ये जो चोला डाल के बैठे हैं फ्लैश एंड बोन्स का, इसके अंदर रियलिटी क्या है? एक ओंकार, सतनाम. और जो चोला डाला हुआ है वो क्या है? जूं सुपना और पेखना ऐसे जग को जान, इनमें कछु साचो नहीं, नानक बिन भगवान. आपकी सच्चाई क्या है? भगवान. आपकी सच्चाई है भगवान. सो क्या फायदा गुरुद्वारे जाने का अगर आपने गुरु साहब की बात ही नहीं माननी? तो हरे राम. But a good teacher will develop inspire your interest in studies. I always say, if my student's not doing well, I am a failure, because that way I have not been able to inspire him to study. So it's a failure of a teacher if the student doesn't take interest in the subject. It is the responsibility of the teacher to somehow inspire the student to learn. Hare Ram. So, गुरु नानक would say, आखा जीवा विसरे मर जावा. मैं सारा दिन नाम से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ. मैं एक हूँ नाम के साथ. I am the word embodied. I am एक ओंकार. I am not just the flesh and bones. As John portrays Jesus. John is not writing about the story of Jesus as much as the God who is Jesus, the Christ who is Jesus. Hare Ram. आखा जीवा विसरे मर जावा, आखण औखा साचा नाम, साचे नाम की लागे भूख, उत भूखे खाए चलिए दुख. सो क्यों विसरे मेरी माए, साचा साहब सच नाए. उसकी भूख कैसे नहीं लगेगी आपको? लगेगी, लगेगी, लगेगी. हरे राम. वाहिगुरु.